Hi, and welcome to Veterans Onward to Prosperity. I'm your host, Master Sergeant Retired Anna Maria Blevin. And today's episode is keeping in with the theme of Mission Freedom Possible, free to be you, free to be me. The second chapter of a life that takes place after military service. Just like I said before, this is Veterans Onward to Prosperity, and that means, guess what, you warriors? You're going to become veterans. That is, someday you're going to put your boots away and hang up your uniform for the last time. So pay attention, because my guest today is all about Chapter 2 in your life. And what are you going to do? Who are you going to be? Oh my goodness, we are in for a treat, because this is the rest of your life. This is whatever career you decide, whatever path you want to take after military service is all up to you. And my guest will help you along the way. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Mike Merwin here, U.S. Navy retired submarine officer turned entrepreneur. I turned my hobby of 25 plus years making beef jerky into a thriving small business. Made in small batches with only high quality ingredients, it's not good, it's crazy good. A portion of all proceeds helps save military lives. Order now on www.crazymikesjerky.com using code CB10 for 10% off.
Hi, and welcome back. Veterans Onward to Prosperity is all about moving forward, and onward to whatever path you decide to choose. And Frank Sinclair, welcome to our virtual studio today. Thank you for being here.
Well, Anna Marie, I am honored to be on with you. Thank you.
You know, your job, just like was said a few minutes ago, is so important to this community. It's almost, there's no words to describe the importance of what it is that you do. Now that I built that up, let's tell the audience what it is you do.
Well, I'm the Chief Encouragement Officer for Dream Again Business Consulting. And just to lay it out, we are all about removing barriers to business, barriers to movement, and barriers to growth. And the number one barrier that most people encounter is what they look in the mirror at every morning. So we want to make sure that we clear the path so that you have the right mindset. You're encouraged and empowered to be the very best that you can be in life, and your business will follow suit, or your life pursuits will follow suit as well.
Wow. So I always end the show with be the best you can be. So this really follows suit with what it is that you do.
Yeah. Absolutely, because here's the problem. People want to become the best person or the best human that they can be in life, but they have absolutely no idea where that leads. And here's really the foundational problem. They don't even know who they are. So having the courage to explore your life, we tell people, if you have the courage to explore, your story will always lead to your purpose. So we explore your story, uncover who you are as a human and the place that you were created to be on earth.
Wow. So, you know, in the military, we're told where to stand, where to go, how to do what we do. But then we're kind of left to our own devices when we put our boots away and hang up our uniform for the last time. So what do we do?
Yeah. Absolutely, we do. I spent 8 years in the Air Force myself. I was a tech sergeant in the Air Force. I unceremoniously sabotaged my Air Force career. My intention was to do 30 years because I didn't know who Frank Sinclair was. So at 26 years of age, I ended up being told that I couldn't stay in the military any longer, which led to some incredible alcoholism and other things in my life. And I ended up as a homeless guy here on the streets of Colorado Springs, which a lot of my comrades do as well. So not knowing who you are, first of all, creates a lot of space in knowing where you're going to go. How do you know where to go when you don't know who you are? Your entire identity is tied to the last 8 years. I went in as an 18-year-old and that was my identity, was the military. So what do I do now? No self-esteem, no self-awareness, and no ability to be able to figure that out.
You know, it was just recent that it was brought to my attention that a scenario such as this takes place because if you're going in straight from high school and you're going active, right?
Mm-hmm.
That becomes your identity.
Yep.
But in no way are you taught how to negotiate a lease for an apartment, how to buy a car, how to even write a check.
Right.
How to manage your finances, because when you're in the military and you're active, hey, that check just keeps on coming into the bank.
Yeah, you make all these payments through automatic pay, and they just pull it out of your check, everything, and you live on what's left, and that's the way it goes. And this was 1983, so it's not as though all of the automatic pay things and debit cards and cell phones and technology were at my beck and call or exposure. And those things were not there. So I still had to go try to find a phone booth to call someone, and etc. So anyway, it was quite different. And the challenge is still there for our military members today. We still have an excruciating amount of military people living on the streets today. We have a lot of them that are stuck in abuse, addictive situations, and etc. And we're not knocking the military. The training is exactly what we need to have to accomplish the mission. But you suddenly you have a mission that's so much bigger than you, and now you're in this doesn't feel bigger than me. Right?
You know what? I should probably name this episode Mission You Possible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we're going to continue this episode after these messages. Ron salutes as a LinkedIn business strategist and relationship advisor. He's the co-author of 21 Days to Success with LinkedIn. He's a guest speaker for the U.S. Army on veteran transition. Contact Ron at his website.
Hi, my name is Julia Ramaldi. Please come join us on the Disability Channel. Please stay tuned, we have amazing guests.
Hi, and welcome back. I was thinking, right after these messages and all of that, and that's how that kind of got jumbled up.
Oh my.
But speaking of jumbled up, when you're from the military and you're on your own devices, you kind of do get jumbled up. You kind of think, golly, where do I go from here?
Yeah, indeed. I think military people out there, it's a different space, of course, than a civilian. But there's something that's very germane to humanity, is that we're all confused. We are. Yeah, so we could start at that as a starting point. Don't think you start making these unhealthy comparisons to other people and etc. There's no comparison to you. No matter what your journey is in life, you are a unique individual, unique human being that needs to find out why you were put here. I read a quote just the other day that kind of sums it up. The two greatest moments in life is when you were born and when you find out why. And most people never find out why. And that's the problem with negotiating and navigating life. We don't know why we're here, what we're supposed to do. It's a big jumble of confusion. And military, if you went that route, as Anna Marie and I did, it's a great part of the journey, but it's not the whole journey. And it's a lot of military people think that encompasses the whole journey. So that's mindset shift that we try to help people navigate as they transition from that one life into another.
You know, part of my job as career counselor in the Army was, of course, to have this conversation. Because not only did I help develop military careers, but I also helped them develop their civilian career, because I was the person to talk to about, all right, what happens next? And that was always exciting, because I would be able to say, all right, you're driving truck, you're 88 miles. Do you want to continue to drive a truck, or what do you want to do? Some people said, no, I want to teach in the classroom, or no, I want to own my own business sometime. Or, hey, I'm driving these things, but I want to learn how to be a mechanic to these things, right?
Right.
Right. So where do these ideas and dreams and goals come from?
Yeah. I know when I went to the military, I was given a job that, it fit partially what I was, and I was very good at it. And you can be very good, and that's where the confusion comes. And that's what links our identity in that confusing space. Because we do something good, we get lauded for it. Maybe we get some recognition for it along the way. Maybe we make rank fairly quickly along the way. So subconsciously we think, this is what I was made to do. And then nothing translates on the other side, and we go, oh my, what am I here for? What's the purpose of my life? That's just part of the story that's being written. So we have to open up our mind to other possibilities, and some of that is still going to be used in your movement, but it's not going to be the ultimate point of your movement. And that's what we try to help people navigate.
Right. And, we're talking about people in the military, and I know high school students that don't have a clue what they're going to do after they graduate.
Most don't.
So they do go into the military.
Yeah. Absolutely, they do, and it's a good thing. I wish we were more patriotic as we used to be. I wish that we still felt this. I mean, those of us, particularly my age, still feels the honor of the opportunity that I was given to be able to serve my country. That'll always be part and parcel, front and center, part of the experience that I'm most proud of in my life. But it doesn't define me. It doesn't. And it's hard sometimes to separate that in our lives, because we do get defined by that. And now we don't feel the same worth, value, or anything out here in civilian life, because it's such a drastic change from what we're accustomed to.
That's for sure. That is for sure. And so some of us went the route that you were just explaining and describing, that you were scrambling for, all right, what do I do next? How do I contribute? How, everything else was kind of figured out for me, and I just followed along.
Yeah.
Now I get to lead my own life, and I wasn't taught how to do that. Oh boy, we're going to definitely talk more about that after these messages.
Let me introduce you to Frank Sinclair. He has a business called Dream Again Business Consulting. Frank believes that you were put on this earth for a specific reason. It's his job to find out why. If we follow the natural course of your life and your story, it always leads to your purpose.
I'm Zach Damon, host of the Disability Channel Detroit. Please join us at the Disability Channel and watch the Disability Channel Detroit for all your Michigan disability information.
Hi, welcome back. And I'm the host of Veterans Onward to Prosperity, Master Sergeant Retired Anna Maria Blevin. Privileged today to have in our virtual studio Frank Sinclair. And Frank Sinclair really has a heart and a passion. He found his purpose.
Yes.
His purpose to help you find your purpose.
Indeed.
So we're going to lead our own lives now. And we don't have a sergeant on one shoulder saying, this is what you're going to do. And we don't have a general on this side saying, and you better do it. So what do we do now? How do we lead our own life?
Absolutely. And you know what? That's such a great lead in, Anna Marie, because it does, if anything, that should teach us how important it is to have relationships, how important it is to have people in your life that can help you see the blind spots of you. Once again, it takes an incredible amount of courage to be able to share and be vulnerable and transparent enough to have those people in your lives that you can say, you know what, I'm not very good at this. I'm not very, this scares me, right? And etc. So that they can help fill in those blind spots and direct you to the places. It's almost like the military, even though you don't have to say yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, and I'll definitely do that. You have the choice whether you're going to follow their advice or not. But there's always space, and it's always valuable and important to have people in your life that can help guide this journey.
I'm glad you said that, because we have each other. The military is a huge community, absolutely huge. You can go on any Facebook group, introduce yourself, say, okay, I got my ETS is coming up in 6 months. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. And there'll be hundreds of people that will come to your aid and will scoop you up in this community and help you kind of figure this out. Frank is one of them.
Yes. I like to think that I am. We are, the coaching space has become incredibly large in communities and in life now. Even before I became a coach, I was pretty cynical about it because I saw people that wore the moniker that didn't bring much value in the space. So I was pretty cynical, and I can understand that people are cynical about space because you have to pay to do that. But anything worth movement is worth investment. That's just the way life is. If you're not willing to invest in the most important part of your life, yourself, then you should not be surprised when you get stuck, right? So we want to make sure that we help people not get stuck, help them to navigate, take away some of the false narratives about military transitioning versus being a civilian, help people understand that they're valuable. There is no persons on earth that are more qualified to come out here and do incredible work in community and life than our heroes from the military.
Absolutely. And I do know that there is some work being done to help employers understand you could ask for a better employee.
Yeah.
Consider the fact that we're well-trained, well-disciplined, right?
Yep.
And what more do you want? Reliability, dependability is in our DNA.
It is. I think where the collusion comes is that some of us have mindsets that certain things trigger you, certain things makes you, so you go, oh yes, this is my space. But when people aren't willing to deal with some of the internal stuff, in the military we hide a lot. It's just the truth. We do, because we have missions, they're pretty clear cut, and we know what we need to do when there's not a lot of pushback, right? You go to a mission, you do that. Out here, there's a lot of pushback. You do get an opportunity to add or subtract from missions and work and stuff. So it's totally a different mindset. So it throws us off a little bit that people are expecting our input, that they want our input. Then they, if you don't, then you're not looked at as a full contributor, right? Is we're not going to tell you everything to do. We're looking for some creativity. We're looking for you to add something valuable to we know you're going to show up. We know that you're going to, if we tell you what to do, you're going to do that. But where those gaps are filled is when we're not telling you, when we're not showing you. What are you bringing? And I think that's sometimes the lack from our military members.
Yes, you're right. We have to do our part. We absolutely have to do our part. And we need to understand that we're a part of a collective.
Yeah. We are.
We're in the military. We are still a part of a collective in the civilian world as well.
Absolutely. We all share the same breath and the air and the space, right? And a lot of my military member friends that I've seen also, because this is the way we've always done it, right? Leave that way of thinking behind when you transition. Be open to new ways of doing things. It's not right or wrong. It's just different. Right. So if you can look at it from that space that, these people are butt heads because they can't see my point of view or my way of doing things. Be willing to meet people in the middle, because the value that you bring is absolutely incalculable. You bring a value that no one else that doesn't have our experience can bring.
That's exactly right. So, Frank, somebody who is about to ETS, would you give them maybe 6 to 9 months? Let's say when they're 9 months out, when we're within a year, this is where they really should be talking to their NCO, right? Perhaps even a career counselor like I was. Seek these people out and have this conversation. Something of this nature, of this importance, cannot be left alone.
No, but I think they need to look outside of the military as well. Find people like me. And this is not self-promotion. I'm just giving you the best advice I can. I've been out of the military for 38 years. I know the marketplace. I know it well. Find someone that knows the marketplace well and begin to have those kind of conversations before you transition. As you figure out where you're going to live, are you going to start a business of your own, or are you going to be content working for someone else? Are you going to transition to contract work, civil service work, any of those type things that are going to create different spaces for you? 9 months out, start exploring that. And there's a lot of places that you can explore that doesn't cost you any money. Many of us do counseling with transitioning military people for free, just to try to give them a touch point of what they can expect on the other side. Start early, make sure you're taking care of your finances, be prepared if you're transitioning, if it's not going to happen immediately to a new job or something, that you have finances put away that can cover you for at least 6 months in a journey, so your mind space isn't all consumed with just surviving, right? You have to free up your mindset so you can show up the very best that you can.
I love that. I love that. So we're going to pick up where we left off in a moment after these messages.
Hey everybody, join us for the Smash Party, nationwide Smash Party, to smash out all of our stress, the stress that has been accumulating for over the COVID-19 pandemic. Get it all out. Smash out that frustration, that disappointment, that anger. Get it all out. 15 minutes of smashing, and then we be calm. Breathe. Just breathe and relax.
Hi, and welcome back. We have with us in the studio today Frank Sinclair. Now, Frank spent some time in the Air Force, got out of the Air Force, and like so many people, just didn't have a clue what the next chapter of life is going to look like, be like, or anything. But he found his way, and he shared with us how he found his way, and now he's helping other people find their way.
Indeed.
So, Frank, if you were to give us 3 things to be thinking about at the 9 months, at the very least 9 months, at the very most not 6 months of ETS, what would you be talking about at this point? And then I'm going to ask, after we have done what you did, and we didn't do a very good job of preparing for our transition, what would you recommend that to?
Well, once you transition, I think we just talked about it last session, just get prepared. Find some reputable, dependable counselors and people that you can connect with. Try to develop a relationship and try to develop them outside of your comfort zone, right? Because once again, the comfort zone is a zone that often prevents us from having movement that we're looking to have. Because you're going to, and be encouraged by this. Once you get outside your comfort zone, you're going to experience pain. But when you're in your comfort zone, you experience pain. Pain's inevitable, right? So you take your pain, you leverage it to become the very best person that you can be along the way. Don't look at trying to avoid it. It's going to just delay disaster. So embrace it and move forward. So that's one of the preparations. Make sure your family's in order. If you have wives, children, husband, children, those type of things, consider your family situation. It's so important. They're in this transition with you. What are their needs? What mind spaces are they in? How can you best encourage them through this process? Who are people that they need to talk to, as well as you guys are all transitioning together? And always go back to the money again. Make sure that you have a nest egg prepared for your transition. And if you were more like me and you had no clue, you got out totally unprepared, this was the best laid plans of a drunk, because that's what I was at the time, right? I was going to go back to Japan, marry my Japanese fiance, and just live the rest of my life. I didn't know what that entailed or whatever. Fortunately, I ran out of money before I could get back to Japan, so I ended up staying here in the States, here in Colorado where I live, and that transitioned into something else. And like any ex-military person, immediately I looked for a job that matched my skill. Went to work for Raytheon for 6 years at the Air Force Academy as the chief of the Fuels Management Division as a civilian, and I hated it. But I thought that's what I was supposed to do because I'm from the military. And once I transitioned from that and really found out that was not what I was supposed to, it didn't mean because I was ex-military that I had to work for a contractor, or if you do, there's no problem with that. I want to make sure that's clear, but that doesn't mean that's what you have to do. Find someone that can help you uncover your talent, skills, and abilities, so in where they translate best in the marketplace.
Absolutely. Yes. And that goes for people that didn't prepare.
Yeah,
If you're one
absolutely.
of those that didn't prepare, first of all, don't beat yourself up over it.
Absolutely
You're
not.
not the only one.
Yeah. Matter of fact, that's most don't prepare.
That is true.
You're in the majority.
Yep. And
Yeah.
there are better days to come because you've listened to this episode. You have gotten some counseling and some coaching that is in this episode that can get you unstuck.
Indeed. Indeed. And what great advice you just gave. Don't beat yourself up. And get around, have you a tribe of people around you that are encouraging you, that are lifting you up, and just really giving positive vibes and advice to you along the way. Don't get around negative nannies or nansters or whatever. Don't get around that. Don't let that be a part of your space. Because if there's ever a time that you need encouragement, it's then. And if you didn't prepare, get your job. It doesn't mean that's not the end of the journey. Find your job where you can take care of yourself. Because when you're consumed with just surviving, you don't really have a lot of space in your brain to be able to think creatively a way forward. So there's nothing wrong with working a job that's not you in the meantime until you find out what is you.
Yes, that's great advice. That's great counseling. That's great coaching. And you had it all here at this episode. I'm so happy to have you on here because I know that our audience, we've got two different audiences. We've got those that can prepare, and we've got those that wish that they had.
Right. Like me.
It's not too late. It is not too late.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frank, so much for being on this episode. And how do they get in touch with you? Oh, you know what? I think they already know how to get in touch with you. Because one of these breakaways, they would have seen your ad.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome. I would love to talk to any of our members anytime. There's a calendar on my Facebook page. Just go to the calendar, fill in a 30-minute phone time or Zoom. I'll send you a Zoom link if you need to do that. And we can just have a discussion, a brief discussion about where you are, where you want to go, and how we can help you get there, or just to be a friend.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. So, okay. So, what we're going to do now is we're just going to say, everybody can and should be thinking about their future. Please, Frank and I, together, invite you and even implore you, please, 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 take what you heard on this episode and have a great future. Okay, we'll be right back.
All about inclusion and really giving everyone a fair say.
Welcome to the Today Show. This is our flagship show. I am Unstoppable Tracy.
I am Zach Damon.
It is a pleasure to be here. I am excited. What is up?
We have a great show today.
Jay Stoyan here for the Disability Channel, the world's only inclusive channel for and by persons with disabilities.
Get ready to be inspired, everyone.
We have people watching from all over the world, but also all over Ontario.
We also take a concerted attention in the veterans community.
In moments of stress and trauma, we can get a hold of ourselves.
To help make a difference for people with disabilities, to show people how to love themselves or their disability.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me, giving this platform for myself and other people with disabilities.
Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this episode of the Disability Channel Detroit. Please tune in next time.
Hi everyone, Frank Sinclair with Dream Again Business Consulting. Listen, a lot of people have asked me, what does Dream Again mean? Well, it means that you were put on earth for a specific reason. It's my job to find out why. If we follow the natural course of your life and your story, it always leads to your purpose. Most of the time along the way, we get tripped up and we don't dream fully about all that we could be. So together, you and I uncover what that dream is, how you fit in it as a person, and how we uncover and create the best you so you show up in the world dreaming big, accomplishing big, and adding value to your space. Isn't that wonderful as we work together to create a space that no one else can do but you? Are you ready to dream again? Frank Sinclair with Dream Again Business Consulting.
I'm wrapping this up by simply saying this. When you have an opportunity, such as what we gave you in this episode, to take a look at yourself, like Frank said, see your story, understand that your military, if you will, experience and all of that, is just part of your journey. You still have more of it to go. And you get to lead yourself in that journey, on your path, your path. So if you're not sure what that path is, please get in touch with Frank. He's there to help you figure this out so that you can be the leader of your own life.
Indeed.
All right. So until next week, when we start our Mission Education Possible Month, I invite you all to be the best you can be.
Indeed.